Awesome, awesome. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Was It Good Though podcast, where we discuss, debate, review, and sometimes argue on movies and TV shows, old and new. I am one of your hosts. I am joined with Jason. Jason, how are you feeling this evening?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How you doing today, Jess?
I'm good, thank you. Our other co-host, Chris, how are you doing this evening?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
That's good. That's good. Gentlemen, we are on episode 39. Almost about to hit 40. But we are at 39, and what we will be reviewing today is The Menu. This is one that was recently added due to some bets. So we like to make sure we live up to those. Yes.
Stop. I need to be included on bets moving forward, please.
You were in the discussion.
After. That was way after. I was handling business when that happened. When he came out, I was like, wait, what's going on here? And it was like, Jess. I was like, wait, there's nobody else here.
I guess if you scrolled up, you would have saw it. But today we will be discussing The Menu. The Menu dropped last year. And for anybody that wants to stream it that has not, you have access to it on multiple streaming platforms. It can be streamed on HBO Max, Hulu, and Amazon Prime. But if you have not seen this movie, this is your spoiler alert. We will be discussing it, which means we will be spoiling it. But before you turn the pod off, please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, leave us some comments. We engage, so we love the engagement from others. But yeah, episode 39. Gentlemen, which one of you will be leading us today?
Got it, Chris. You want me to get it?
I take it. So we back The Menu. Like Jess said, this came out last year, and I saw the trailer, but I wasn't checking for it for real. I was just, it was just a fly-by-night thing. But Jason saw this first, I believe, and he, like every other movie almost that we review or talk about, he liked it. So, so I was just like, all right, cool, let's give it a try. But yeah, the cast is interesting. We open up and run a boat. We have this gentleman named Tyler and his date or girlfriend or whoever she is, Anya Taylor-Joy. Whenever I see her in movies, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm interested in her because I don't know what it is. Like she plays not really the character that she plays, but she played. Are you gonna talk about her face?
It's the face.
Okay, I wasn't gonna. I was talking strictly. Strictly on acting. But the roles that she plays, it's just like very interesting movie. So, but yeah, we open up and they're going to a restaurant, an exclusive restaurant owned by a celebrity chef who we don't know that much about yet. But there's a bunch of people, and you could tell it's like a high class type environment. Everyone's like, Tyler's fanning out over one of the critics. He's like, is that who? Yeah, so we get there. But I thought that was really interesting. And then just going into it, there was always a sense of like what's about to happen. Not in the same way that we did Glass Onion a while back. It wasn't in that same realm, but it was sort of like, okay, something bad is about to go down. But they're going to be staying on the island, and apparently they're going to be having to do some work because there's beds there. And it's not like fancy, rooms. It's just like cots. Like almost, and I'm just like, okay, this kind of sucks, but but hopefully the food's good. What do you guys think was gonna happen? Because for me, I don't know what type of film it is. I didn't watch the trailer at all, so I know Jason and Jazz, you guys maybe watched the trailer. What were your thoughts based off the trailer alone, I should say?
This movie wasn't what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
And maybe that's my own fault because it didn't really live up to the expectation. It took me down a completely different road than I thought we were going to go down. I was thinking more along the lines of Fresh, the movie that came on Hulu a few years ago, and also the episode of Atlanta from season 3, when they were at a dinner party and the ladies were served hands. That's what I thought this movie was going to be about, or somewhere in that realm. It was, yes, that's where I thought it was going, but they was getting real food. But I definitely thought it was funny because when they arrived onto the island, they were getting a tour of it because they were the lady that was guiding them was letting them know all of the food we will be having this evening is fresh out of the ocean. And the beds and everything, those are the workers that live there. Like all the cooks and everything, they live there. So they were just like, one of the guys in the group was like, so y'all just cook, eat, go to sleep and get up. He was just like, do you not get tired of the routine? And she was like, no, we jail. So like, because they jail. That's what they do. So it's just like only one way on and off the island is from a boat, a ferry. So I was curious because you also saw before they got on the boat, Margot saw somebody she knew, but it wasn't a, oh, hey, it was like a, oh shit. And so trying to figure out, okay, what's the connection between her and that gentleman? And then with Margot's name not even on the list, it was supposed to be somebody else with Tyler. And she was just like, it's just Margot. So it's just, we all automatically get the point where it's just like, okay, she's not supposed to be there. So she's obviously the odd woman out. So it's just, what's about to happen? Are you a spy? Are you about to do something crazy? Jason, what did you think?
Yeah, that's completely different. I don't know where you got that from. Did the trailer read that to you? That's what you read from the trailer?
When I think, no, actually, I don't even remember watching the trailer, but when I think the menu, a bunch of people eating food, I'm like, y'all just really, like, what? So I was just thinking of something malicious because it was getting like thriller energy from it, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, technically, they were guests of and a part of the menu, technically. So, but the vibe of the trailer actually gave a lot of, like, I think it's like hide and seek. That movie, whatever the movie is that the guy from the Belanti, is it Belanti? I can't think, but the guys that do Scream, whatever they, Ready or Not, that's the vibe that I got from it when I watched the trailer. It was more of a, we're going to dinner type thing, but now I'm going to kill y'all at this dinner. So you got to fight for your survival type thing. Because you have the situation where in the trailer, it does say you got 45 seconds to make it off of here, or I'm going to have my people come and chase you. And it's like, oh, so they, that's the type of the vibe that we were getting. But it definitely, it was completely different, but I loved it because it was a different type of film that they were giving us. And I'm here for the obscure horror. Like, give me a different type of feel, just something that's not the conventional. And they gave you the conventional horror type, in the movie. So throughout the entire thing, you see it, and kind of like what you said, Jazz, you see where she wasn't supposed to be a part of it, and the lady just legit just calls her the wrong girl's name, and I'm just like, oh, so Tyler a scumbag. We already know what type of, like, he just starts to get his strikes early, but I also came back to what he kind of called out about smoking, which I mean, if that was your girlfriend, you can kind of see that. But at the same time, if that was your girlfriend, you would kind of be used to this person doing this. So
I didn't think about that on my first watch, but I understood, like, he was just like, don't smoke because this is a very expensive dinner we're going to and all of that. But that really makes sense because you just like, oh, well, we've come to find out who she is later on.
Would y'all go to a restaurant, like, even if it's like critically acclaimed on a private island? Would y'all do that?
I would.
I've done like a boat tour. Like, I've done like a boat dinner before. Like, it's not like I was going to go and swim off the boat anywhere, but I've definitely gotten onto a boat and ate on it out in the middle of nowhere. I probably would.
Just not this restaurant.
But, I mean, none of the food looked appetizing except the chicken thigh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was the Al Pastor one.
Yeah, that's the only one that looked good to me.
Okay, yeah. Let me say something. But we meet. I mean, the meals are funny. I'll get to the meals because I want to have a conversation about the meals. But we meet the chef, and it's kind of weird when he's introducing each course. And I forgot what the first one was, but it was just, it was very, I think it was like scallops or something weird, and it looked.
Yeah, the raw local oyster.
Yeah, sure. But it didn't look it didn't look good. And everyone was, you sort of meet each group. Not in the sense, I guess it kind of reminds me of Knives Out a little bit, Glass Onion, because Maya Taylor, she's not supposed to be there. You have a group of people, you don't really know what's gonna happen. And like I believe it's Jazz mentioned, like it's like one of them aspires to play this. So I can sort of see a little bit of the vibes there. And then if you want to say Chef Solwik is, like like Edward Norton in a sense, they're both kind of, out there. But that was a cool little parallel. I think another interesting thing was they incorporated COVID into the storyline also. And we've been getting that lately, and I was a fan of how they did it in Knives Out. In this film, it made sense because it played into the story of why he doesn't really care for one of the guests. So I thought that was a real nice touch. the funny thing, I think one of the gags, this movie had a couple of good gags, and Tyler was just like very excited about some things, and he was excited about the Paco jet. And I was just like, and I was just like, oh, like, okay. She was just not impressed at all. But the guests are all, they're very rich, they're upscale, some are very pretentious. And John Leguizamo's character, I was excited to see him because he I don't want to say it was like comedic aspect, but it was just kind of funny to see him and where he was going to go with it. But the chef comes out, Anya Taylor-Joy is looking at him, and they sort of share a look like almost opposition type, like, yeah, you're gonna cause some problems and I don't like you, sort of, which I thought was interesting.
I honestly thought she possibly knew him too. I was like, man, she know a lot of people. She be on the boat tour for real.
Oh, okay. But we get through some of the courses and we learned a little bit more. My favorite course was the tacos. When he talked about Taco Tuesday, how they used to do that, and he brought out each tortilla and they had pictures on it. And Tyler, he's dense because he was just like, oh, he saw me taking pictures of my food. Like, should I go apologize? And she's looking like, why are you apologizing for taking pictures? And then you had the other couple who Anya looked like she knew him. There's a picture. I don't think it was of her, but it was of a woman. I couldn't really tell if it was of her. And the wife was sort of like, like what's going on? But he gave off those type of vibes anyway. I don't know. I guess for me, it sort of rattled along. And as the story progressed, I sort of got some clues. As far as Anya Taylor-Johnson, I knew Joy. I had a feeling she may have been a sex worker at a certain point.
Yeah.
I
got that too. I thought she may have been, like, honestly, because on my first watch, like, I mean, of course, like, another thing, I just gotta commend you on there because you said, like, a rewatch sometimes rewards certain things. So when I rewatched this, a lot of stuff stuck out. You was like, wait, I missed all of it. And like some of it, it's a lot of dialogue in this movie. So a lot of it definitely go over your head because you're just like, man, what the heck they talking about? And I probably was lifted when I was watching this movie as well. So I was in a different universe. So being able to watch it, clear mind, clear body and whatnot, it was completely different. So when they sitting down and they having this Taco Tuesday, he was just talking about, how different things invoke different memories. And was this when he was talking to his mom about his dad, and
he was giving a story about Taco Tuesdays when he was younger.
And he was coming out Taco Tuesday. So did y'all mom make tacos when y'all was growing up?
She did, but
it wasn't on, but yeah.
Friday.
I mean, of course. Did y'all grandma make tacos?
No.
Could you imagine the chef mama making tacos?
I mean, not the position she was in this movie, but maybe a long time ago, possibly. I don't know.
When youth was in her, she probably was throwing down on tacos, Jason.
Because I'm just thinking, like, my grandma, she never made tacos. She would not. She like refuses to do it, and I'm just thinking, like, she looks a little older, and I'm just saying, it's just a generational thing. That's more so where I was going. Like, I couldn't see that happen. I couldn't personally see that happening. But like you said, like I said, that was revealing everybody picture that was on these different tacos. You got the Charles and his wife. You got pictures of him cheating. You got Tyler basically just doing what they told him not to do at the dinner, being a little, I guess, pompous at the table. Then you have John. And John, which is George's picture was a movie. It was a movie. He was just like, man, what? It was like what he said. She's like, maybe because y'all cool, y'all know, he's making jokes with you, because he was like, yeah, it's a bad movie, bad script, bad acting. That's what it was. Then you go to the douchebags. I never really got their names, but the table of douchebags, and they going crazy with that. They're like, wait. This stuff can get us thrown in jail. They was like, we got plausible deniability, bro. We good. He was like, I mean, you sure? Can it hold up in court? And they call over Elsa. They're like, Elsa, come here. So what is this? Tortilla. He was like, no, no, I know what this is. She said, no, what is this? It's a tortilla. But then she told him basically they know about the invoices that they've been getting from their job, making fake businesses to give themselves money. And so at this point, that's when your wheels kind of turning. Like, man, something. How are they getting all this insider tip information, and why does the chef care so much about what's going on? But
yeah, Doug Barrick, they name dropped him, and I pay attention to stuff now. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm conditioned from this, but I pay attention to everything. And even when I talked about Anya Taylor being a sex worker, Tyler said something about like he said something to the effect of like, I'm paying for it, you know, and she kind of like, so I was just, that gave me that vibe. And then of course she noticed that the older guy. But we got
Chris, I also want to add, like, the other table, you had the lady that reviewed restaurants.
Lillian,
yeah.
Ted,
and so
Ted
she but I'm not sure what his position was, but he was just there to just to hype her up. That's it. He agreed with everything. And then even on my first watch, every time she said something, he always was like, oh yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Or if he said something first and then she disagreed, he then said, oh no, yeah, that's true. That makes sense. And you just realize, okay, so he just the enabler. That's all his position was. And then on her tortillas, it was images of restaurants that shut down because of her review. Mm-hmm. So then you start to see, like, okay, obviously these people were picked for a reason, and they all trash. So it's just like, okay, some harm is definitely about to come to this group. Like, nobody's innocent. So I was curious of how it was going to unfold.
Yeah, when I saw that too, I figured maybe they shut down his restaurant, but then that's like kind of kill somebody over a review. But
I mean, I guess it's more of a, we on TikTok, on TikTok, you got the Lee guy right now going crazy. He just goes to the restaurant. Yeah, Keith Lee goes to the restaurant. All he gotta do is say, this is good, this is what I got. And they've been selling out. All these little mom and pop stores are selling out like crazy. They can't even condition themselves to work or deal with it. So just imagine if somebody that big say, this is trash and it's not good. And, because people, nowadays everybody's word of mouth is a key, and people are followers. They're not really going for their own thought process. So
yeah, but then things heat up because we meet Jeremy. Jeremy comes out and he's, he looks. I don't know if it's like placebo effect, but he sort of looked scared when he came out, but he didn't look right.
He looked like he was about to die.
Yeah, I had no idea, what was about that. But I don't know if it was like the music, something to the effect. Something was going on where I feel like this ain't right. And then he ends up just shooting himself in the face. And I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what was going on. I think maybe the expectation would be he would shoot someone, but not himself. That's just kind of like cultish. But what was your reaction when you saw it? Like cult, right? Like it was a cult almost.
This is definitely a cult film.
I was like,
okay. I'm gonna let Jazz take it first.
I was about to say that's Jazz. That's Jazz.
Yeah, so I had to go. Yeah, so I.
Oh,
I didn't get cult vibes from this. I was just like, all right, so obviously nobody's surviving. His staff is obviously in on it. And they just like, look, there's a reason. Everything that's going to happen is going to happen for a reason, because he even asked Margot, he's just like, you're not supposed to be here. Everything tonight has been planned down to the T. So with them laying out the whole rug for Jeremy and for his body to end up looking like the dish that that's named after him, which was the mess.
So that he had the little I guess like almost like a video game loading screen for each course. It was like
yeah. I like how they did that. Like even when which I've been noticing a lot lately in movies, especially since Nope. Y'all can go check that out. It's on YouTube, still in there. If you want to click on that. But basically, when this movie starts, it's giving us an invitation to come to this dinner as well. So I like how they've been doing that. So each course we figure out what they're about to eat. But he like before he made Jeremy, unalive himself, he basically like broke this man like mentally before that, like just from the stuff he was saying. to Jeremy. He was saying like he wants my job, he wants my prestige, he wants my talent. He's forsaken everything to achieve this goal, but he made a mess of his own life. So it was just looking at
Do you think that's what he was doing? Do you think he meant to break Jeremy down, or just let Jeremy know your goal, like your main focus is trying to achieve something that can never be achieved? So basically just letting Jeremy.
It's a hard truth.
It is.
Cause think about back to what was the other one we did? What was the one with Harper? Like the best man, thinking about just being content with what you're doing, as opposed to trying to get to another position, and you trying to get there and you in the pressure cooker. And he basically gave them a pressure cooked meal. That was the course that he gave to him, and he was just saying, you made a mess of your life, your body, your sanity, because all you do is people please, and it's never going to be enough.
Never.
And I feel like that's like kind of like what a celebrity may go through, right? As well, like because we see because at this point our celebrities are on social media, so we see breakdowns every day or every other day from somebody that may be up here today, down here tomorrow, whether it's because and I feel like we pay more attention to the hate as opposed to the love, because I mean Tyler was sack chasing Mr. What's the chef name? Yeah, he was sack chasing Mr. Julian. It's Julian, right? His name Julian?
Solwik or something like that. I know his last name Solwik.
Yeah, I know this. Like, so he was really riding him. So I mean, he wasn't paying attention to the love. He was looking more at the shade, and he could hear everything in the room. Like anything somebody say something, he was like, "What they said?" And then you see him start speaking to Elsa about different stuff. So yeah, man, he had to do the boy like that. He had to do Jeremy like that.
R.P. Jeremy.
And they put it on the menu.
Nah, but this part was even strange too. And I don't know. For me, I thought Tyler was in on it because he didn't react at all. He's just still eating. So I'm just like, bro, you're crazy. Like, you got to be in on it.
He not human, like not human at all. And he's like, we have like the people we love to hate. Like me and Jay been watching Your Honor. Like the wife, like every scene this woman in, and she's stealing it. Like, but she like somebody you love to hate. Like, you rooting. But it's like I like to see her on it. Like when she on the screen, to a certain extent, But this guy, he wasn't like a likable character at all. Like, it was just like, man, I'm ready for him to die. Like, you waiting for, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? But like every time he came, like the entire time he eating, and like Margot, she like tripping out. She like, what is going on? Everybody in there flipping out. And he just like, oh my God, did you taste that? Like, oh, can I taste yours?
He was eating her food.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. Like, he called her a child. He's just like, you acting like a child. Like, wait a minute, no. But I liked her character because she didn't fold. Like, she stood her ground. She was telling Tyler, like, you're not gonna disrespect me like this. And then she went to go get a cigarette. And then the chef rolled up on her, was just like, who are you? You already know who I am. Like, who are you? Like, she just like, did she say she from Kansas? Or did she say she was from Nebraska?
It was one of those Midwest. I think it was Nebraska. It was
okay. The chef is just like, you're not even supposed to be here. So I was curious.
And she went off on him, but like he literally meant, like, we know what he actually meant versus what she took it as. Like, but he was like you're not a part of this experience. Like, I'm sorry. Because he was showing like compassion to her to a certain extent. Like, he was trying to give her compassion because he could see like who she was. Like, he could see her.
And Tyler couldn't.
I mean, he could actually.
He had his own motives.
He was paying for his experience, so it was different.
I was sick of it. But then the older married couple, I think his name is Doug. Doug tries to escape. Is that his name, Jason? It's Doug, right?
Charles.
Charles, okay. He tries to escape, and truthfully, like, you're not escaping. You get these big old body. One of them like 6'10", 7 feet tall. I'm like, you ain't going nowhere. And then she's just like, she said something to the effect of like, you want your left hand or your right hand? And he was like, back up, babe. I got this. He was like, no, you don't got this. She was like, okay, look, finger. And I'm just like, bruh. and he just cut it off. And then even after his ring gets cut off, which was ironic because he was having an affair, and that's the ring, the wedding ring. So, but Tyler's still not reacting. Tyler's just like, whatever. Everybody else is panicking, and I'm just like, I said, yeah, Tyler's in on it somehow. I just feel like he was trying to maybe be the successor or something to that effect. I don't know. He was tripping out.
Yeah. Within this thing, but then we get like, I guess this is the climax, because this is where they actually begin to reveal what's really happening. And Margot goes into the kitchen. He was like, he wanna talk to her. He wanna speak with Margot.
Tyler was like, "Can I go?" It's like, no.
This ain't for you, my boy. This ain't for you, my boy. This for us. And he's like, so I'm really just trying to decide where you at. What do you stand in all this, Margot? Which side are you on? She was like, I mean, which side of me? Like, which part lives? I mean, no, everybody dying tonight. I'm just trying to see which side you want to die on.
He's like, you want to get down with the crew?
Are you with them? Are you with us? Are you with them? And then he said, you got 15 minutes to decide. And like, I love like I said, the elements of horror that they use in here, like from the hand claps that he was doing to let the people know that the food was coming, to the bell that was ringing, to like the different jump scares they were doing. Because it was a constant thing that happened. And she went back, slapped the taste out of Tyler. She should have just kept going crazy on dude, because at that point, like, bro, wait, you done put me in a death trap. Like, what I did to you? I ain't did nothing but make you feel good about yourself, my boy.
Yeah, no, Tyler was just straight up. And it's funny because I wasn't expecting him to be like this much of a jerk when I first opened the movie, but he did.
Yeah.
So they cut his ring finger off, and then the chef, like you said, the climax, I guess, I think for me the climax was a little bit later on, and I'll get to that part.
You think so? I thought it was, because at this point we know everybody gonna die. I thought that was the climax here.
Yeah, chef was like, oh, y'all about to die. But then we got, he was name dropped earlier, Doug Barrick. And this was just, what was he? Was it a helicopter? What was he hanging on?
Bro, I don't know.
Because that was like over the water, so whatever. But he's getting hung, and the three guys are like really flipping out at this point. He was like, I'll give you whatever money you want. Of course, they're trying to buy it off. You see how the type of people they are. They're trying to buy him off. And he's like, nah, he dead. So he started drowning. And I thought this was like really unsettling, because he was like telling everybody to as the guy was struggling to like pretty much help me. But he was just like, shh, just listen. And then he was under the water. He was I'm like, bro, like, he's dead. Like, there's nothing else to say. But I think this part, I don't know if and I think part of it was when he was talking to Anya Taylor-Joy, the chef, but also when he mentioned, well, not mentioned, but when you sort of see the characteristics of the guest, I didn't look at him as like a super evil dude. He was evil, but I didn't look at him as just like, okay, he has a reason. How some people just do stuff just because.
We know how you feel about certain motives of killers and things of that nature. So I didn't say nothing about that. I'm sorry. This is more in the realm of Saw. This is more of the realm of Jigsaw. I'm killing people because you made me feel a way about a situation. This is more so. So of course you don't see it. But this man said he killed an angel investor in his business because he likes substitution. I would be dead as well, because I don't eat a lot of things. Certain stuff I'm just not going to eat, and I'm going to substitute it. You're not going to make me. And he was like, we do not do substitutions at Hawthorne. And that kind of made me think about that. What was that movie? Shit? No more wire hangers. Well,
Mommy Dearest.
Oh, Mommy Dearest.
No more wire hangers.
Which had me tripping, because before he killed Doug, the douchebags and George was trying to devise a plan. That was like, man, we can, which it comes back up at the end of the movie. Yeah, at the very, he said we can devise a plan and we can just take them. They're like, you sure you want to take them? They got knives in the kitchen. You think they're gonna be? I'm like, I mean, it may be more y'all than it is in the kitchen. Possibly, it's a possibility I can overthrow them to a certain extent. You don't think so?
Nah, because you gotta think about who was there. Because I don't think. Well, let me not say that about her. But the old dude, he got 9 fingers, so he ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. And then like they had the bodyguards too.
Man, look, Chris, I'm not sitting there.
I'm with you.
I'm not just sitting there.
Yeah. Don't know if they would, but he had him shook. He had him shook after Jeremy killed himself, and then he cut off his ring finger. Davis.
He would break, like I said, he was breaking them mentally. He was breaking them mentally from even like Jeremy, everybody. He was just breaking them down, opening them up to what he was selling them, and then boom. And then that's when that alarm goes off, where she has to go ahead and decide her fate, who she gonna ride with.
Who would you ride with?
Shit.
I'm going with the people who's in charge. I'm not worried about these strangers who I don't even know.
You know one of them.
Fuck him. Look, I would have been like, Chef.
Actually.
Tyler don't count.
Both of them. I would have been like, Chef, I don't need 15 minutes. I'm on y'all side. What's up? Can I at least get a final meal in? And not these oysters or one of them was like eggs. It was
one of them was breadless bread, wasn't it?
Oh, they was so mad about that. They was like, can we get bread? And they was just like, I just told you before this was even served to y'all. No bread.
Yeah, nah, this restaurant definitely get one star. Don't give me no breadless bread. But then they go outside and we introduced to Catherine. And Catherine, she straight up looks weird. And she to me, she looked like, not weird, like she just looked like she could kill somebody. Yeah, so but
I think all the sous chefs look like they can kill somebody personally.
Oh, for real?
To me.
I see why you said it was a cult, because some stuff is just, even when they was like, what they say, yes sir or something, they was clapping and everything.
Every time anything, yes sir. He said, I love y'all. I love you too, chef, sir.
I can kill us, but I love you. Yeah, nah.
I don't know what he was feeding them, but man, hell no. Hell to the no.
Yeah. But you know, the chef realized, you know, the realization that he sexually assaulted her, or, you know, unwarranted advances towards her. And when I first saw this, I thought she stabbed him in the nut, but
I did too.
Yeah, the way the camera was, but she ended up stabbing him in the leg, and he's super crazy because he reacted, but it's not like, if I get stabbed in the leg, I'm probably gonna go down on one knee. You know, like it'd be very painful. He just like stood there and took it and then wiped his hand off. And this is the scene where Jason mentioned he gave all the men 45 seconds to see if they could escape. And Tyler is just standing there, like looking at everybody. Oh, like you might want to leave, but he's just wicked. You think you can get out in 45 seconds? Like, how far are you getting, Jason? I only say this because you always. You know.
I mean, with the other guys with me, shit, we're gonna be doing some tripping and dipping. I'm gonna get up out of there. Ted went to the chicken coop. I would have been. I don't know. I'm not a swimmer like Jazz, so I would have made it to the water, but then
it was a boat.
You gotta get that boat out. He tried to get the boat out there. He got caught as he was trying to get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm that fast to be able to get a boat, push it out there, and try to pedal it in the water. They're gonna probably outswim me in this boat. It wasn't like it was motorized.
But you can outrun zombies.
Outrun zombies. We said swimming. He have to then swim off this island.
All right, Jason.
That's a good thing.
Feet and everything. So I was wondering if you.
Yeah, I like out doing the running part. Yes, I'm good. But when we get to the swimming, I'm fucked. There's no other way about that. When we get to the swimming, I'm like, hey, this. But I would have been fine though. They weren't just gonna be like, gonna be walking me back. They won't be walking with me like we cool back to the dinner table.
I'm surprised nobody kept their scissors that came with the chicken thigh.
You think they took it from him, maybe?
I didn't see it, so I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But everybody got one, and that's one for each serving. So they could have put up a good fight, but
could be.
Even they were done.
They didn't really have good survival skills.
Nah,
yeah,
I mean,
but then again, look who it was.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny when he found dude in the coop and he like, you were the last to to get caught. So here's I'm like, don't give me this. It's like the food. Like, he was just playing in my face. I was just like, nah, that's crazy.
I'm not in here, bro. I would have been like, nah, go to the wrong chicken coop.
He's looking right at you. He's just like, take your dessert.
This ain't me.
You would have started making chicken noises.
Wait. Is it a call? Is it a call? I don't know. I would have made some kind of noise.
Yeah. But you know, while we had the scene of all the men, you know, the women were inside and they were dining, and Catherine is, well, this part was funny too, because the lady who
Lillian.
Huh?
Lillian, the food critic.
Yeah, she was like critiquing the food while she eating. I'm just like, maybe she's just going out doing what she loves. I don't know. But Catherine is pretty much like it was her idea to kill everybody. I'm just kind of like, so she is crazy. Because like that.
Like, yeah, she was like it ties off at the end. It goes great. I'm actually the one that suggested to kill everybody at the end. Like,
oh. I'm just like, dang, all right. But yeah, that was just crazy. And then, you know, Solwik comes back with the rest of the men who are clearly, like you said, I think Jazz said, I think it was meant to break them because they were in no position to fight back at this point. I think when Jeremy shot him, that was it for them. But he, you know, he's explaining, you know, he brought each guest in, and it was a reason that he brought them in was because each of them contributed to him losing his passion for, you know, the craft for cooking and everything. And, you know, I get that, but I still don't think that's enough reason to kill somebody. Like, I don't care how much you care about cooking or whatever.
He wasn't his last hoorah.
You could just go somewhere else, like open Dukes or something. I don't know, do something.
Not open Dukes.
I don't know. But you know, he says everyone will be present by the end of the night. And then Margot is just kind of like, which I felt for her, and I was hoping she didn't die, because it's just kind of crappy that you hired a sex worker because your girlfriend broke up with you. And you just like, they don't serve just one person, which is also kind of crappy because you just need more people to kill for no reason. And then, you know, even when she was talking about what she was doing with the old guy, like that was, she was pretty much like, just want you to agree with me while he jerks himself off. I'm just like, getting nasty.
Wait, so that was about him, not Tyler?
Yeah, she was talking about the old guy.
You know, the wife kept saying, why she looks so familiar, and she was like, she looked just like Claire. And then when he was in the room with her, he kept saying, he want to jack me off, tell him I feel good, I love you,
yeah.
I'm your daughter. And I was like, whoa, this Tyler is sicko. But it was about the dad. So he may have had some kind of fetish about his daughter, and she actually looked like his daughter, which is why he was into her, which is sick.
It's some sick people. But then Tyler, you know, this reveal, and I don't know what strike this is for Tyler for you, but it's pretty much Solwik is telling him, like, you knew about this months in advance. And, you know, you still decided, you know, to be selfish, essentially, because you were so pressed, you know, to come here and try the food or whatever. You said you wanted to try the food. And he kept the secret, hired a sex worker for this experience. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then he humiliates him pretty much by, you know, hey, you're going to have to cook. So he cooked it. And I saw it when he was cooking. I know it was a montage, but like when he cooked the lamb, I was like, that lamb's not done. And then the chef ate it. I was just like, yeah, nah, just like, you got to do better than that. But I think one of my favorite things about Chef Solwik is the mental mind games that he kept playing with everybody. Even with this, like Tyler, he looked up to him in a sense where he's just like, oh, you're this esteemed chef. And, you know, he felt like this is an opportunity to maybe prove himself to this person who he's so pressed to, you know, to meet and admires him and everything. And then he just breaks him down. He's just like, this is, you know, undercooked. And then he called it Tyler's mess on the little, the little cut screen thing. And I'm just like, yeah.
I thought his dish would have been better. I was just like, Tyler, you watch all of his stuff. You can't cook nothing.
Not even lamb chop.
I was like, and he was just like, you could see it, his reaction as he was cooking. Yeah. He was just looking around, everybody staring at him. So it was just so much pressure on him. I didn't feel sorry for him though, because I was just ready for him to die.
No, he did a good job. He did a good job with this scene though. How he delivered. I mean, I didn't care for him, but he definitely delivered a great scene. And I wonder if he truly knew how to cook, or was it the pressure that messed him up while he was cooking? You know, because it goes back to when he said something about George, because George was like, he said, you know, supposedly he's a foodie, but we'll see if he really knows about food. But then when it actually came to him being in position to do what he supposedly loved, that he knew so much about, he succumbed to the pressure, and yeah, dropped the ball.
Yeah, and then I sort of wish they said what we heard, what Solwik said to Tyler, but at the same time, it's pretty much implied like he just wanted to, go hang himself. And then I think this is the climax after this. After Tyler dies, personally, I feel like this, like I know a lot happened, Jason, but I'm just saying like now we get into the ending of everything, how the story gonna wrap up. But he asks, well, Margaret, whatever you want to call it, she's
Margot.
Yeah, Margot. Aaron Taylor. I'm the thing with the real names because I don't want to get confused. But
it's Anya Taylor-Joy.
ATJ. he asked her to go to the smokehouse and get a barrel, which for dessert, but I've never had a barrel with my dessert. And then she leaves and she sees dead Tyler, RP, we don't care. And then she goes into his house and she's seeing, different things. I think this is when she saw the employee of the month or whatever employee of the, and he looked so happy with his craft. And I think it was a burger that he had cooked. And she was just looking like, okay, he wasn't always like this crazy. But then we see his assistant, Elsa, who's like jealous at this point. And I didn't know ATJ had this in her. She did work. I figured that she would kill her, but I would have expected her to put up more of a fight against Anya Taylor personally. Because it was just kind of like,
yeah, she started stalking her kind of like to a certain extent, because she like, wait, now she on this side of the crew, we didn't even know her, and now you trying to take my spot. Because she was mad about, we find out as she's dying, he never told her about the barrel. It was just something that he told her to go do. I don't know if it was, and I wonder what was his goal in there, because they used the barrel, I feel like, to pour the stuff out on the ground when it was pouring it out. But yeah, it was interesting in how they did that. With the Paco jet, it comes back up because she uses it to knock Elsa out in the middle of the fight. So there was a dope callback.
Yeah, it's funny because she didn't care about it at first, and now it's just like she said. I like that, and I like how they just like put the emphasis when it landed that it was the Paco jet. But yeah, that's interesting. I also wonder, like, was he sort of having reservations about killing her at this point? We know, later on how he feels, but I wonder at this point, because like you said, why did he ask her to go get the barrel? So
I think he did, because he began at he knew she was. She was in the service industry to an extent. So she knew what it was to actually work, as opposed to the people who are taking, being selfish, stealing. Well, George didn't have that fate, but the rest of the people on there, how they're doing different things.
Yeah. But she also sees a radio while she's down there, and she's just like finally. And this scene, like, this was crazy. But she calls the radio to go back upstairs, and John Lee was on. She's his assistant or whoever that she quit. And she's like, she's like, what school did you go to? Brown. You have student loans? No. Oh, you gotta die. I'm just like that.
I love that scene. That was the only scene that literally made me laugh through this, because I was just like, at that scene, I was like, oh, I know what kind of shit he on. He just like, look, if you somebody that's just been fortunate on such a high level, he's just like, yeah, you dying. You didn't have to struggle. You didn't have to work. Like, yeah.
But he did John. But he killed John for messing up his day.
Hey man, sometimes look.
He said, so for you, I had an off day. It was one off day. I've had one in weeks. I went to go see your movie. I went to go check it out, and it sucked. You in particular sucked. Your face, everything about you. Like, I was just like, bro. It was funny how he kept making that call back to that movie the entire time. How this is what got him killed.
What movie would mess y'all day up that you just hated so much, where it was just like,
oh, why you
if you could just have one movie like off the top of your head,
Queen and Slam. I ain't gotta think too much on that.
Okay.
Anything Lena Waithe produced, maybe. I don't know.
Chris, what's yours?
Probably something that I was looking forward to and really disappointed me was Thor. Thor 4.
Okay.
And I rewatched it actually recently, and I was just like, that would be it.
I'm gonna say mine is Smile. I was very disappointed after watching that trash.
Really? Oh. Well, I guess we don't need to question if that was good or not.
Nah.
Jason liked that movie though, right?
Jason like a lot of stuff I think is terrible.
And you like a lot of stuff I think is terrible as well, man.
Like what?
Anything you think you find funny, I do not find funny. Come on, Chris. A majority of movies that Jazz like the comedies, I'd be like, hold on.
You got an example?
Sausage Party, that's one. A dance flick, that's two. Movie 43, that's three.
She thinks that's funny? Yes. Oh, I missed that movie.
When Hugh Jackman had the balls on his neck.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, now Friday After Next, I'm gonna give it to her because that's funny. That's a classic, you know. But these other, I think it's her white comedies that ain't funny to me. Maybe
that could be it. That could be. What's some black comedies that you didn't find funny that I found funny?
I can't think of anything. I can't think of any black one. It may just be the white comedy, but I like white comedy. That's the thing.
I mean, you like You People, but we don't have to go through that.
Do I like it?
We don't have to. We don't went through that already, so we don't need to revisit that. But yeah.
Like I sat there and was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazeballs. No, that's not what I said. It wasn't 21 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street is funny. I like that movie. So is what's that movie?
This Is the End is funny.
That's what it is. The End of the World.
I don't think I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that in its entirety.
That movie's funny, and that was a movie going in. I would think would be stupid, but it was actually.
Superbad was funny.
Superbad is classic. I love that.
We Are the Millers is funny. So it's not just my white comedies. So it's just the stuff that has a lot of adult jokes that I find funny that you don't find funny. Because all the ones that you listed,
your crude humor, the crude humor jokes, like them type. Yeah.
So I think Big Mouth is funny. Have you seen Big Mouth?
Big Mouth is hit or miss for me. Like somebody be like, all right, they doing a bit too much. Like you ain't gotta do a bit. I mean, it's meant to be super inappropriate, but it's like, all right, y'all pushing it. Like, yeah, but that's why I like in 2010, like the poop jokes and stuff. Yeah, like stuff like that. It ain't like the sexual. All right, you're killing it now. You're doing it too much.
Nah, but you see the Coast Guard Dale, and he comes in. And of course, you know, he's like everybody. When I saw this, and because I don't know, he was facing the glass, but I thought somebody was gonna come up behind him. At this point, I was just waiting for that to happen. But he looks over and he sees John Leguizamo's character. He's just like, "Hey, don't." He's like, "Yeah, it's me." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever you got, like whoever you think I am, that's who I am. Just help me." He asked for his autograph or whatever, and he's walking back and it says, "Help us." And this is the moment everybody goes over and he plays everybody full. He looks at Anya Taylor-Johnson. He goes down and lights the candle with his gun. And I probably would have cried. I'm gonna be honest with you at that point, because it's just breaking him down mentally. Which I think y'all said, like, what did you think he was there to save him, or like was he gonna die, or yeah?
I felt like he was in on it. I was just like, nah.
I thought they were gonna kill him. He was just gonna die in the room too. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah.
When he got the autograph and saw the note, I was just like, watch this dude be in on it. Because he literally said he had this entire night planned to the T.
Which is crazy.
So a way to give them some false hope is going to break them down more. If you think about it. So I was just like, nah, he fucking with him.
He was convinced at the beginning. He was like, what did he say? Like, be quiet or something to the effect. He was like, you don't want to have an innocent man killed. I was just like,
he said, So, which we gotta go when so they at the table getting before he comes into the room, and they bring a birthday cake out for Bryce at the douchebag table. It was like, you told him it was my birthday. He was like, I mean, it was funny 3 hours ago. Has that ever happened to y'all? Y'all be out and somebody do the birthday thing on the cool and you didn't know?
The clap. It wasn't me, but that's happened to somebody else with like the people come out and they clap, but they ain't get.
I was one of the people that set it up to where I'm just like, it's such and such birthday.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't.
I've been set up. I really hate the happy birthday, happy 8. Man, it's like the worst birthday song you can sing to a person. First off, so they come out, give him this birthday cake, and as he's going through it, he kind of explains explains himself a bit more. He was like, I'm a monster, and I'm a whore. I am a whore, but I can carry a cast iron skillet from the stove, from the hot oven to the table. Are any of you two blessed to be able to do this?
No.
That's some grandma type. That's some grandma type stuff. I've seen somebody do it. My hands ain't built like that though.
I ain't got time for that.
Too bad.
Take the pan out the toaster oven with their hand, but not carry it because you just do it quick. That's one thing, but nah.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it happen. Get this carrot to grab the cast iron on the end, just sit it down. But I mean, that's a callback to at the end as well, because he does it. But then he was like, he sits down at the table and he was like, as Dr. King said.
The white guy talking to the black guy, Hispanic guy, I don't know, maybe Asian guy.
I was like, man, wait. And then John Leguizamo cares like, he just quote Dr. Martin Luther King.
That was another funny moment. Yeah,
and then he said when they seen the Coast Guard come in, he was like, so he said, I need y'all to be quiet, keep it quiet, because he said, I'm asking y'all two things, and I'm done. One, do you want to be responsible for an innocent man dying? And two, ask yourself why you didn't try to fight back harder.
Like, bro, everything that happened. But nah. And then even when they was like trying to clean up, they wrapped up the old dude with his hand and stuff. And he was, you could tell he was like been beat up. And I'm just like, this is not good. This is so I figured that was gonna happen. They would have had to kill the Coast Guard, but it didn't. But everyone's defeated at this point. They pretty much accepting their fate, except for Anya Taylor-Joy. And she starts, sort of playing mind games a little bit with him. Which I thought was interesting. And like Jazz said, I like her character as well. Because she always was like never rattled, never shaken. Like even though everything crazy was going around, she still stood up for herself at this point. But I still thought she was gonna die, to be honest with you. I thought this was one of those movies where everyone dies at the end. And it was just, but she didn't. She's pretty much she's called his dishes loveless cooking. And she's just saying all these different things, and she just wants a cheeseburger, which is genius because she saw the picture earlier. So she's just a callback to that. And he looked, I think, I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's just because we do the podcast, but I noticed a lot of the actors, how they act with their face and not really vocally. And it really impresses me a lot. And he did in this scene because it was almost like I don't know if it's like relief or like joy, or it took him back to some sort of, when she talked about, I want a cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lazy.
Yeah. I thought they was going to have sex in there. Honestly, that's what I thought was going to happen.
What?
I don't know, because if you look at their faces, I'm just like, man, he really want to make this cheeseburger for her. Like,
so that's what you found it to?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, they looking at each other like they back and forth. I'm like, they giving each other look. Is that the look? Like, what's gonna happen? Or is he just gonna go to the kitchen?
He just finna go to the kitchen and make that cheeseburger.
Well, he could. I mean, you wouldn't want to be taken by the kitchen?
Not that kitchen. Like, she was like, "What y'all got?" He was like, "We have everything." Like, I ain't get that vibe.
Yeah, this is what I was like, man. Hold on, what's it? Like now I'm looking at it because his he looked like SpongeBob when she was like, I just want a regular cheeseburger. Oh, just plain cheeseburger, with French fries.
I think it was just her asking for that was taking him back to where when he loved to cook, mm-hmm. when it was passion, to where nothing that he made was altered by someone's opinion. Mm-hmm. And what she was able to learn that when she was walking around her office willy-nilly, and I'm just sitting here like, I hope she die. I liked her character, but I was just like, no favoritism, please. Kill everybody. But we'll get there. And with her just asking that, it's just like, he folded immediately. Oh, yes, let me make this myself. Because if you think about it throughout this entire movie, outside of that cheeseburger, did you see him cooking anything else? Because it was normally his staff was making all the food.
The sous chefs.
He was just so kitchen like monitoring.
He was just like monitoring everything. So he made that himself, which I was like, all right. And then she took one bite. She's full. Like, can I get this to go?
When I so this scene, I thought of Jason because she said my eyes was bigger than my stomach or something like that. And like she does, like Jason always talks about her face. She does, you know, she has very unique facial structure. I'll say that.
Yeah, yeah. But it went back. Because I didn't catch it the first time when I was watching the movie. Because when they was talking about, which I just figured out was Charles, not Tyler, that they were talking about. It was like, you know, they were talking about the experiences. And he was like, you know, I know I don't need the details because I know what a bad customer is like. He was like, but do you enjoy providing those services? And then she flipped it back on him, and he said the same thing. He's like, I used to, and I do miss that feeling. So that's just, you know, what she used to go back into. Because she was looking in the room and he's seeing everything I guess he felt as an achievement for him. Like he had a family at some point. I guess he lost him or whatever that was on the wall. Everything he had was lined up. And you just see the progression from him being happy to going down to, you know, when he was employee of the month. You know, back in 1987, when it was just basic cheeseburger. And I guess, like I said, it was just simple. He didn't have the pressures of everything that he was doing. So yeah. She hit that. She figured that tough spot out with him.
Yeah, but you mentioned the family and possibly losing him. I wonder if it was because he was so wrapped up in perfecting, you know, his cooking and living up to what everybody else wanted. He ended up neglecting his family.
Yep, Harper Jr.
And also Jeremy, because Jeremy did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of one of those things, like, he's a psycho, but if you actually look at his reasoning behind a lot of stuff that he did, it's just like, okay, I can see someone being pushed all the way to this level, how they could snap. Not a good way to snap, but could have been worse.
That's sort of what I was trying to get.
And then you think about, like, he just didn't pick random people. He was very selective. Not saying that it's right, but RIP to them.
I guess. But I really like the scene when he was making the burger because I think he sort of cracked a smile a little bit, but he was very interested.
It was like a, you know, he smiled like Pearl.
Oh, at the end?
At the end of the movie. That's what he smiled. That's what he smiled like. He was trying to crack it, but he couldn't really crack it type smile.
Because he hasn't done it in so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I like those scenes when they cooking and you can see like the close up, like even when he put the onions on there, the cheese, you know. Well, I like movie scenes like that. It's always interesting. Just a little tidbit. But you know, she's smart. She's like, "Can I get this to go?" And he's like, "Yeah, you can." Which, I mean, that was her way out. Jazz, why you shake your head?
She was supposed to die. Ain't no to-go plate. Ain't no leave.
Well, she wasn't even supposed to be there. What you mean? She was the exception.
Jason.
And technically, they don't serve individual plates. So Tyler was gone, so she had to be gone too. So she left.
You know what?
Yes. Yeah, exception to the rule, baby. Boom, got you.
Nah.
Yes, yeah. You hating because you ain't.
I'm not.
You can't even think about it. She wasn't being popular no more. She out of there. Tyler gone, she gone. They both left different ways though.
So I guess if the old man whose finger got cut off, if he was to get killed, so that means his wife can go ahead and bounce too.
What? Technically.
Yeah, she was supposed to be there because they weren't appreciative of what they were paying for. They were just paying for this experience because they could.
Yeah,
which is bogus. But I mean, I eat the same stuff, so I would have knew everything I would have ate. So, well, he fixed different courses.
Yeah,
and if you spending like $1,300 a plate, you're not gonna want to get the same plate.
True. She said, "What did you eat last time you was here?" It was the cod. It was the cod. It was the halibut, you donkey.
Somebody calling you a donkey is like that's crazy. I'm like, damn. He meant that.
But you know, he allows her to leave, and for whatever reason, she looks back at everybody else like, I don't know, I guess it was sympathy or whatever. But you see the wife, she's just like, sort of like, go ahead. I wouldn't look back. I would have ran her. To be honest with you, like I got my burger, I'm good. Rest of y'all can die. But then we see what the barrel was for. It was for dessert, and it gets s'mores. And just like wasted mad graham crackers and everything all over the floor, and then
he had the nerve to get him a goodie bag, bruh.
Oh yeah, everybody. and then she paid for the burger. She put $10 on the table. Yeah, I didn't get that either. I would have kept my money, but
I mean, she's a service worker. So, I've never worked in fast food in that way, but like my cousin, like, because he was in the bartending business so long, like anything that somebody does like a service, he's gonna tip them, like he's gonna pay that, and it's gonna go above and beyond. Even if they, shitty, he's gonna do it. So I felt like that's just where she came from as a service worker. She was, giving him something for the situation. He gave her the price, so I mean, she paid her tender, they paid theirs. Hey, bro, why did he make? There's no way I'm paying them for to die. I'm like, no.
Yeah, gratuity. Like gratuities included. Just like, bro, just like nah. But I felt bad for John Leguizamo's whoever she was, like his assistant too. I kind of felt bad for her too.
His mistress? Nah, she got to go too.
Why? I mean, she stole money from him, but like what else?
He said, "I know though." He said, "I knew, I knew you sold it." He's like, "And I sent bad letters about you to Sony. I know you CC'd me."
He was just dumb. But
she reminded me of Peg from Glass Onion a little bit.
A little bit.
Okay. I like the parallels we making with Glass Onion. That's kind of dope. But yeah, this scene at the end where Jason mentioned sort of culty, when he was talking and you see like all the sous chefs in the back and like the way they were putting everything on the ground and stuff, I get that. I can see why you say it's kind of culty, because that's like, you're about to die, everybody else about to get, and you just like mad calm and just doing everything. So it's just the hold that he has on everybody else. And then they get one last gift. They get marshmallow, with a coat or whatever, which is, sure, I guess. And the guy it was just unsettling, honestly. And then everything goes up in flames, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then,
I was gonna say he grabbed the coal out of the fire and he held it in his hand. He stood there talking for a long time. Yeah. First off, one, he killed himself. Everybody in there should have dipped after he did that. I would be like, yeah, he out of here. Like, what are we doing?
I guess. I mean,
they were too committed to the job. they turned the ovens up.
I mean, technically, since them dying wasn't his initial idea, it was the other sous chef, Catherine. So he didn't coerce them into doing it at all. It was her idea. They probably had a group meeting. Was like, all right, y'all. So this is what we're about to do. Let's get some suggestions. What do y'all think? Oh, we should kill everybody.
Like what?
All right, does the whole group think that's a good idea? They probably was like, oh, hell yeah, kill everybody. We can all die. And he was like, oh, all right. Well, everybody got to be committed. So it wasn't his idea. So they was probably with it. I would have been like, yeah, I don't need to hang with y'all no more. But
yeah, let me leave this island. This ain't me. This ain't for me.
I'm only here on an internship. y'all, wow. When the next ferry come.
Yeah. But Anya Taylor-Joy, she escapes, and then everything goes up in flames. It pretty much explodes, and she's just looking back, still eating a cheeseburger, which I guess it was that good. Sure. But I thought this was a nice touch. She wipes her mouth with the menu. So and yeah, that's the movie. I mean, I thought she was gonna die, but I'm glad she didn't die. So
I didn't think so. I knew she would be figuring something out.
I was rooting for her death.
That's crazy. That's
why?
Crazy thing to root for.
You didn't like a character? You just wanted her to die?
No, I did, but I just wanted the chef to stick to his original plan and not let anybody fall through the cracks of escaping to have that happy ending. Like, I get she wasn't supposed to be there. She was innocent, but stick to what your initial thing. And plus, it would have been a different type of ending that viewers would see. everybody always wants that one person to survive. So just don't let nobody survive.
It depends on the movie.
This movie would have been a solid don't let nobody survive. Because the intention of all of them going was to die anyway. Like, yeah, it's unfortunate you weren't supposed to be here, but we done seen a lot of thrillers where somebody wasn't supposed to be there and they end up dying anyway. So I'm like,
I'm not gonna go with that on this one because this is. I mean, this a complete. Cause this was like a completely different, like a completely different scenario. Like if she would have died, it would have had to been on some like a completely type of like completely different. If she was on that boat and it exploded, I was like, damn, he got her type. Still, like that would have. If she would have died, she couldn't have had the same death as them. She would have to have like an amazing, crazy Final Destination 2 at the barbecue grill, blow up arm, land.
That's even worse.
No, I'm just no. If she would have died, she would have had to had an amazing death. She can't just have a s'more death. She can't go with them because she wasn't like them.
But let that be it, and then her arm still have her burger in her hand.
Sure. Oh wow! Gets cut off and the burger is still in her hand.
That would have been epic.
It's soaking, floating in the water, then going down, just like the angel investor, and that's how it ends.
That would have been amazing.
That'd have been crazy. But I guess for this story, I like how she survived because it's sort of, I want to say, I guess the only way I could think of to describe it is like humanized him. Because you can see how his passion was renewed and she sort of saw that version of him. And then when he was cooking the burger, you could see joy. So I guess that, but I'm glad she did.
I would have liked a shooter, but like if he would have like, do I really want to go through it? That would have been a dope ending too. Like if he would have said, "Do I really want to go through with this?" Like I don't really like Catherine. Like
Catherine was tripping. Oh, that's great.
Like, on this, why did we agree to do this?
Just have a realization out of nowhere.
And they kill him. Like that would have been a dope ending as well.
Yeah, I like it.
Because it was all about purification, so that's why he burnt everybody up to cleanse them.
I thought it because he liked s'mores.
He said no. He said we heard that right. That part. He said s'mores are the What is wait. He said the s'mores are the most offensive attack on the human palate. Everything wrong with us as a people, we associate with innocence, and that's what the s'mores are. So yeah, now we're gonna burn these up.
He was hating on s'mores. Nah. But yeah, that was the menu. So of course, was it good though?
I enjoyed it. That sounded like y'all two did, but I enjoyed it.
It was all right. I wouldn't recommend it to nobody.
Really?
Everybody that you know, outside of Sai, who do you know they said they didn't like this movie?
I don't know a lot of people that watched it outside of the individuals that we all associate with.
That's the only associates I'm talking about. Even people that don't like stuff like that. Hey Jada. But what else did they do? Look at Jazz. Fix your face. In the Discord, even they like. I was shocked that I was like, oh, okay. People that don't even like horror movies or suspense movies, they was just like, oh yeah, that was dope. Because it's a different concept. Yeah. I'm here for concept movies. Show me something. Give me something different. We ain't got to keep having the guy with the knife cutting throats. We seen it since the 60s. It's been going on. Give me something.
We ain't seen that in a while either though. Minus Scream.
We seen Sick. We just watched Sick whenever that came out.
You see, I forgot about that. Completely forgot about that.
You didn't like that either, huh?
She hated it.
Oh wow.
No, I enjoyed the concept, but it was low budget. The concept of it I thought was good, but it was also a quarantine movie. So I feel like if you would have probably put more of a budget, more bodies, it could have been great. The concept of it and the characters, their motivation was funny. And I was just like, okay, I can actually probably see this happening. But it just seemed like a movie that was like, all right, we got a week. Let's go ahead and rent out this Airbnb and film. Jason, because you saw it as well. Did you? Mm-hmm. What was your thoughts?
I mean, for the most the same. I feel the same. I feel the same. It definitely felt low budget. I think, well, as far as like attack, like I love the opening scene with like the first kid, like the guy in the house, because I don't have, well, one time Scream did begin like that, but I enjoyed that. Like it's a guy in the beginning on the opening, so I enjoyed that. And like the kills are brutal. Like the kills in there were very brutal when they did them.
It was only like 2 kills.
Just fine. That was brutal when they did. No, and the villains.
It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for it to be a Kevin Williamson.
Scream. How many people died in Scream, Jazz?
The first one?
Yes.
You got about 5 to 6 bodies.
How many people died in Sick, Jazz? 5 or 6 bodies.
Wait, Scream 6?
No, I said Scream. Just in Scream. And I said, I said, how many people died in Sick? That's your argument a lot of times, but the movies you love never have that many deaths in them.
So I'm not even counting the villain's death. You look at the innocent people in Sick. How many people died, Jason?
In Sick? The innocent people in Sick, it was 4. Well, you mean like death, like they got killed by the killers?
Yes.
Like 3. 3 or 4. It was like 3 or 4.
So the same as Scream?
No, Scream had more.
Scream.
Casey,
Chris,
Casey.
Chris, you go back and watch it.
Casey, the principal, Stu girlfriend, and who?
Casey's boyfriend.
Casey's boyfriend, which we didn't see that, but okay, I'll give you that.
Did you not see his body?
Yeah, like that was.
What are you talking?
I don't know, Chris. No, Chris. I'm not counting like a. Yes, we seen the aftermath.
Got it.
Of it.
Go ahead.
Right.
Oh, you mean like actual seeing the killing
of somebody getting killed, like actually getting killed on the actual screen type thing. Like I'm not.
So Casey, Stu's girlfriend, the principal, Billy and Stu, and there was someone else.
We can't count the villains based on what Jazz just said. No villains. I said Stu girlfriend, so it was on like 4 deaths.
Well, Tori Spelling.
No, she wasn't in that.
Not Tori Spelling. You talking about the best friend, her best friend. So it was like 4 deaths. And you got the news crew guy. You got the news crew guy. He got killed.
Oh yeah, he got killed with Gil Weathers. I don't think it's.
I think you saying not to include the boyfriend at the beginning is kind of wild, but we don't have to stick on this too long because his body, like his death was. You didn't see it, but you heard it, and then you saw the aftermath. So to say don't include that is kind of crazy, but we can move past that.
So who y'all guys Lincoln Thrones? Because we see the energy right now. Who y'all Lincoln Thrones?
I'll go first if that's cool. My Lincoln Thrones is gonna be. I know you guys didn't like him, but he's a pretty dope actor. Nicholas Hoult. He plays Tyler. And he was in X-Men First Class.
I think Jazz said that. I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, the Beast.
And he was in Warm Bodies.
Oh yeah,
anybody saw that
movie? Is that a vampire movie?
No, it's the zombie movie where the zombies were nice.
Oh, okay.
it was like a comedy. Kinda. Yeah.
He was in Mad Max too, wasn't he?
Yes, he's been in a lot of stuff. Jason, do you have yours?
I do. I have Judith Light. This was Miss Anne. This is Charles' wife. She's in Poker Face. She's in my favorite episode of that show. Man, that shit. That's a good. Oh my, that episode is is amazing. Like Ryan Johnson. It's only so much. I feel like I'm sack chasing this man, but that episode, yeah, my mouth was because y'all got. If you haven't watched that show, Poker Face is amazing. Like, yeah, that's all I like to say.
All right, so I have Ralph Fiennes. He's a chef. He was in Made in Manhattan with Jennifer Lopez, which is crazy because you think about all the different movies that he was in. It's just like, okay, you got this love story, then you have this, and he was also in Red Dragon, which was a Hannibal story, but he got range for sure.
Yeah, it was also who was it?
I know
he was in
Harry Potter here.
Yeah.
He was one of the versions of the guy. Because he wasn't every version, he was one of them.
He was a variant.
Basically.
Yeah. I feel like we already got it out the way, but do we have any agree to disagree? I feel like that's so sick conversation. Could have been something. Oh no.
I mean, unless Jason thought it was one. I don't have anything for agree to disagree for this movie.
No, I don't think I have anything. No, not for the not for this week. No, I don't think I have anything either. I don't know what was a. I don't know what was. I mean, what was, I mean, that really wasn't. It was just saying like as far as she talked about the kill count. She loves kill counts, and I just like, but something about I don't know. The concept is more so where I go to, not the kill count. The kill count cool, like because some like when we talk about kill count, Halloween kills. They just if you want a movie like that, they have them out there. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, what's a movie that you love with a high kill count, Jazz? Where like the story is good, the kill count matches it. Like I've not.
I'll say it. Off the top of my head, Final Destination 2.
It's a good movie. I don't know about the kill count.
I mean, I guess.
Huh?
There was a lot of depths in that movie. It was more than
it was more than the original. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I feel like they gotta up it.
I mean, you think about the original, an entire plane of people came down, but since we don't know everybody that was on the plane, and since we didn't see it happen, don't want to throw it in there.
That's Jason.
No, okay, we're not. You would count the plane as a death?
I wouldn't.
I mean, it's characters, but it was just funny you said that with Scream. It's like,
oh yeah, I mean, I was just saying, like, I'm just saying, like, the boyfriend, I get it. He died in the movie. I mean, you know, but finding the body, you know, type thing, because it was, you know, you heard it and she opened it, but they had to they cut it back too. Like they had to cut that scene out, like some of it out, because I feel like they were going to show it and they stopped because it would have made the movie an NC-17, which they weren't trying to promote at that time.
I didn't know that. Snapple facts for Jason. Amen. But yeah, that's episode 39. Y'all want to close it out or any other comments?
I ain't got nothing.
No, episode 39. What? Yeah, no, I don't think I have anything. We appreciate all the support, appreciate all the love. Thank y'all for listening and following us each week. Definitely check out the menu. Jazz gave you all the different streaming sites that this is on. We still have our Discord community where we communicate with our the people that watch the podcast as well as other different TV shows they put us on, just different conversations. Again, thank you for listening. You have a nice one.